So the river diversion scheme here is being delivered as part of the ERDF Sunrise project, funded by the European Regional Development Fund. In total, the project funding amounts to £3.6 million.
The ERDF Sunrise project is breathing new life into 16 urban green spaces.
The Victoria Ground River Restoration Project is the jewel in the crown of the Sunrise project. So we've got a whole bunch of other woodland restoration, wetland restoration, meadow creation projects going ahead. It's the foundation on which we build a nature recovery network.
We're looking to increase the connectivity of green space sites across Stoke-on-Trent and Newcastle-under-Lyme so that wildlife can move between and can utilise all the spaces that they have available to them.
Building a nature recovery network is just so important because nature is really struggling. Around about 45% of wildlife species have declined since the 1970s. So if we can put back in place this nature recovery network in Stoke-on-Trent and across Staffordshire, we've got a chance of turning the tide.
So the project is a partnership. Staffordshire Wildlife Trust are the lead delivery partner for the project. Stoke-on-Trent City Council are the project lead, and we're also working with other partners including Newcastle Borough Council, the Environment Agency, Groundwork West Midlands and the Wild Trout Trust to deliver this network of benefits. What we're looking at here is the new course of the River Trent through the old site of the Victoria Ground football stadium. We've excavated somewhere in the region of 40,000 tonnes of soil to create this new section of channel.
This is just such a fantastic project. This site will be so well known to many residents across Stoke-on-Trent and further afield, but has been transformed over the last 6 months. We can see the River Trent has been rerouted behind me, creating a new area for wildlife to flourish and for local residents to enjoy the greenery of one of the greenest cities in the UK.
And yet so many people don't know about the fantastic asset that the Trent is. It's fantastic for our general health and well-being to come out and discover our green space.
The old Victoria Ground Stadium was demolished in the late 90s. In fact, one of the football stands actually hung over the course of the River Channel.
So St Modwyn are the owner and developer of Victoria Park, and really on this scheme it's not just been about creating better places for people to live, but it's been about creating better places for wildlife to live. And I think we've managed to do that.
A lot of urbanisation, poor water quality has resulted in life disappearing from the river. So those habitat for fish and invertebrates just aren't there. So this new river channel puts those features back in. So this will be a place for them. The gravel and the habitat here, they'll provide habitat for invertebrates, for the fish to feed on.
The A500's telling me we're a bit further over than the training ground pitch where we used to train and the youth team used to play on a Saturday. As you can see, it's so different, and it's going to continue to be different because you're bringing wildlife, which is fantastic.
We have approximately 500 metres of more natural river channel. It's been excavated from the site. We've imported gravels and larger stones to create the river features that you might find in a more natural section of river. We've installed root plates and other features using trees that were removed from the site as part of the development to work with natural processes to create ultimately a river that is better for nature.
We are constructing a new footpath to run alongside the river as well, so that will connect into the city centre.
Which will enable people to access the river and this site again.
And this is expected to be complete within 18 months after the phase 2 of construction of the housing.
It's certainly like chalk and cheese. We've got a steep-sided concrete channel that's devoid of wildlife, and this will be a haven for wildlife. We've seen nearby there's trout in the river, we've seen kingfishers, we've seen dippers.
We might also even see otters.
This project has been a long-term ambition of the Environment Agency. We've been working on it for quite a few years now. We've seen the old river channel. That is the worst bit of the River Trent we've got left, and it's great to be here in the new river channel to see the improvement it's going to give to wildlife.
Behind me you can see two weirs that currently create a barrier to fish passage in this part of the river. As part of the diversion, the river will be moving around these, and this section of the river will be backfilled. Because we're creating vegetated banks rather than vertical concrete walls, there will be much more opportunities for plants to flower and populate those banks.
It's fantastic to be here on the day that the River Trent starts flowing down its new course. I'm actually standing on where the old concrete channel ran, But here we are after years of work with partners on behalf of the Wildlife Trust. This is the kind of virtual official ribbon cutting moment. So fantastic. Congratulations everybody.
It's also important because the wider economy is going to depend on a green recovery. Biodiversity, the air quality, there are so many reasons why projects like this are absolutely key.
What we've seen in the pandemic is how people really value green spaces on their doorstep. The Victoria Ground is a fantastic project, but it's just the beginning of a much wider game plan.
We're very passionate about what we've created here. We think it will be a fantastic space.
And the wildlife is something additional that people, I'm sure, will relish and be grateful to see.
Working with partners, we can do great things for nature.
There's absolutely no doubt it's completely transformed to a place that's really quite beautiful, and we hope that the residents and the wildlife can really enjoy this environment for many years to come.